Holy Hello and welcome to Two Wheel Talk. Today we are going to take out this KTM 890 Adventure, a bike made for light handling, comfort on long rides, and has off-road capabilities. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Moto's Hautekiet for letting us test and review this bike. It's because of them that we can make these kinds of videos, so show them some love, and the link's in the description. And yeah, once again, thank you Moto's Hautekiet. So the KTM 890 Adventure, the totally reworked model. So let's start off with the ergonomics. When I first laid eyes on the bike, it seemed like a quite small, not a small, but a compact bike. And when I threw my leg over it, it seemed even smaller. But when I completely sat on the bike, it was a totally different story. I can only just flat foot the bike. I'm 185, so I'm quite tall, and it's the first time I can just flat foot a bike. I think it's because of the seat height. It's about 84 centimeters high, and you can adjust it to 86 or 87 centimeters. So the seat height is quite high. And next to that, the tank is designed in a way that it pushes my legs open. So it's more difficult to flat foot the bike. That's the first thing I noticed when I sat on the bike. Another thing was the fact that the cushion... Oh, noise. A second thing that I noticed when I sat on the bike was the fact that the cushion was not as soft as I would want it to be. Especially for an adventure bike. Nice. Especially for an adventure bike, because you probably want to take out this bike for a longer ride, and I have to say, if you're a couple of hours on this bike, your ass probably gonna hurt a little bit. And keep in mind, this is an updated version, so they added foam to the seat. So people who have driven the previous models, may your ass rest in peace, because that must not have been a comfortable ride. And also, the seating position, it doesn't really feel like an adventure bike. The handlebar is quite low, so my arms are in a lowered position, and normally with an adventure bike, it's positioned a bit higher to be like in an upright position. And the foot pegs are also a little bit to the back, so yeah, it doesn't feel like an adventure bike. It's a totally different position than I thought it was going to be. But it is comfortable, I have to say. I'm comfortable on the bike. It's not that it's causing any issues or any stress on my arms or anything. So it is comfortable. Now let's talk about the design. They reworked the 2023 model completely. They made it more bulky, especially on the bottom. And that has a very specific reason, but I'll come back to that later in the video. And they also made it a little bit more aggressive, which I really like. And the positioning of the headlight changed completely. And now the bike is more like a whole. It's really great right now. Really a nice upgrade with the previous models. A very nice upgrade, in my opinion, to this 2023 model is the fact that it is always equipped with these Pirelli Scorpion rubbers. In my opinion, they give an awesome off-road look to the vibe with the spikes and everything. In my opinion, they're absolutely stunning. And next to that, these tires are amazing for handling and for mileage, so I only see upsides to that choice. Then the color design. Unfortunately, you cannot go very crazy. You have two options. You can go for the standard KTM colors, which is just a whole bunch of orange, but it looks nice. And then you have a second option, just like this one. It's a lot of black and kind of gray combined with orange. And this is a very nice look to the bike. This one, I prefer this one over the orange one. But both options are really great. They look awesome. And then the most important part of a review is the riding experience. This bike is equipped with an 889cc parallel twin engine, and it produces around 105 horsepower. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I have to say, it has a very gentle throttle response, so it is very comfortable to ride in hectic urban situations. It's not jumpy, it's not nervous. But on the other side, you can really tap on its tail. If you lick the stamp and send it, it really goes. I promise you, it really goes. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Here we go. Holy 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 almost did a wheelie there. Holy ja. Maar de vloekwoorden gaan niet geapprecieerd worden door YouTube, dus ik kan dat ook een keer opnieuw moeten doen. What the dude. Now about the vibrations and the wind on the bike, it's not the best. The windshield doesn't protect my upper body as much as I would want it to protect me from the wind, especially for an adventure bike. I can really feel the wind bumping into my head, and even on the sides, the windshield doesn't really do much to protect me. I've seen that on the R versions, the Adventure R versions, they have a much taller and wider windscreen, so yeah, that's probably better. But I have to say, on the legs, it is quite wind-free actually. The design really takes care of the wind. You can see that there is like this extension on the bodywork, and you can really feel that the wind bumping in that the wind is bumping into those parts, and just the wind is going straight beside my leg. So really nice. And also the bulky part on the bottom takes care of the wind on my feet. So wind on the legs perfectly fine. On the upper body, it's not the best. Okay, and how is the handling of the bike? I have to say, this is one of the most flickable, maneuverable bikes that I've ever been on. And they improved the handling quite a bit on this model, and there is a very specific reason for that, and I will come back to that later in this video. And then, of course, another important part of the riding experience is the sound of the bike. There is a lot of debating about the sound of the 890 Adventure. Some people think it's crap. Some people think it's nice. I think it sounds like a bag of stones in the low revs, but it really packs quite a punch if you put it up in the high revs. Then it really sounds amazing. Keep in mind that it's a parallel twin engine, so you will not be blown away by the sound, but it's quite okay. So yeah, let's take a listen to it. It's quite okay, right? I mean, if you compare it with the Versa 650, which is also a parallel twin, I would choose this sound every day. It's much better than the Versa 650, so yeah. I don't mind the sound. I saw a lot of people putting on a Remus exhaust or an Akrapovic exhaust on this bike, and then the difference is night and day. It's really a nice upgrade to the sound of the bike, so that is something you might want to consider if you are looking into this bike. Okay, and then we have features and technology. This bike is packed with features and technologies. It's just too much to go over. But let's just say this bike has the latest version of the KTM traction control. It has cornering ABS. It has cruise control. It has a quick shifter. It has different modes. You can go from rally to street to rain to off-road, and the bike automatically adjusts its suspension and other power outputs to the specific riding situation. So a lot of different options. But a very important detail to all these options is the fact that you have the famous KTM Demo Pack. And the KTM Demo Pack is kind of like a marketing trick where they give you all the options on the bike for the first 1,500 kilometers, and once you pass that point, the options you didn't pay for, they're gone, and you have to open your wallet again before you get them back. So I don't know what I have to think about this. Maybe it's a nice way to kind of get to know the options that your bike has before you pay for them, or it's just a dirty marketing trick to trick people into buying all the options. I don't know. I still have to make up my mind about that one. Remember when I told you that this bike is extremely flickable and maneuverable for one specific reason? That is because the fuel tank is situated right here on the bottom of the bike. They put the fuel tank as low as possible, so the center of gravity is lowered and the maneuverability of the bike is has a major upgrade. So all the weight is at the bottom. The top of the bike is really light, so really flickable, really maneuverable, and in my opinion that is one of the nicest things about these bikes. But the fuel tank is 20 liters, and the bike has an average usage of around 4.5 liters every 100 kilometers. So it can take you up to 400 kilometers, which is quite a stretch. That is a very nice thing about this bike. So the price, also a very important part of a review. This bike begins at 14,749 euros here in Belgium. So it is not a cheap bike, and that is without any options. So it is an expensive bike, but if you compare it to its main competitors, it actually positions itself in the middle of its class. For example, you have the less expensive Yamaha Tenere and the more expensive Ducati Desert X, which are comparable bikes. But this KTM positions itself in the middle of its price class. Okay, my final thoughts on this bike. The seating position is not at all an adventure bike position, but it is a comfortable position. But the only thing KTM needs to fix is the cushion, because it's really hard, and I think on the longer rides that might be an issue. But overall, the bike rides amazing. The handling is great. It has an amazing fuel tank. I mean, it looks great. So if you are looking into this bike, just book a test ride, see it for yourself, because this bike is really worth it. And once again, thank you a lot to Moto's Hautekiet, and you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment, and next week we will be back with a new video. Bye!